We played a little bit of Diontae Johnson in quick hits. Diontae didn't just, when he joined the Sports and Suit podcast, he didn't just compliment on Kenny Pickett's tiny baby hands. It gave him a pretty strong endorsement in this quarterback kerfuffle.
I think they're going to roll with Kenny for right now. I've been seeing Kenny going like right now with the ones, and then Joe would come in. I think they're probably going to roll with him just like to see, like just coming off the season he was with Philly and having a Super Bowl. So I think they're going to stick with him through preseason, and then, they can live with what Joe brings to the table.
What an endorsement. I mean, for Joe and for Kenny. Whew, they can live with it.
We're just going to roll with him, and then they can live with it. A lot of this has to do with the idea that Diontae Johnson, he was targeted 137 times Kenny Pickett's rookie season. I think Diontae Johnson just knows. He's like, oh, Pickett likes throwing me the ball. I don't know why, but he likes throwing me the ball, and maybe that'll happen again.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is the...
Wait, was Diontae Johnson, should we have, obviously everyone connected the dots in the idea that he played with the Steelers at the same time as Kenny Pickett previously, but was Diontae Johnson just brought in for Kenny Pickett? Because we've not discussed that in any sort of sense at all, and I don't know if I've heard anyone else bring that up, and now that we're talking about it, maybe we should be, are the Browns really telling us they brought in Diontae Johnson for Kenny Pickett?
All right. Did they bring him in to give Kenny the best chance to win the job? Or do you mean like, oh no, Kenny's going to win this job and we got to have Diontae here to help?
Like, oh no, not oh no. They're looking at it like if Kenny's going to be the best version of Kenny, he needs Diontae Johnson, like the guy that he clearly loved his rookie season. Even if he had very, very, very little success, he loved throwing Diontae Johnson the football. 137 targets.
So here's why it makes sense what you're saying is the Browns love the idea that makes sense. And if you really think about it, you're like, what is that?
Yes, and that's one of these ideas. It's like, what Fugazi math did we have to do to get here? And it's like, well, let's get Kenny more comfortable. We do this all the time with quarterbacks. It's like we talk about with Aaron Rodgers, right? It's like Aaron Rodgers, every spot he moves, Alan Lazard must follow. It's like they have guys that they love, and it's like, well, let's get him somebody that he clearly loves. Diontae Johnson, because Kenny Pickett hasn't thrown many people the football. Let's do that.
And in fairness, Diontae's second year with Kenny, no bueno.
No,
that's what's wild about this is it's like, all right, the recency here is the last 3 years. Diontae has just been, the last 2 years, Diontae's been unplayable. Baltimore disliked him so much that they tried to bring him back, or they brought him back just to try and keep him away from other teams in the playoffs, and then really hated him so much they were like, okay, just get the hell out of here. Houston needed playmakers in the midst of trying to one-up what they did the year before. Houston was just like, oh, get this clown out of here, rather than poison the well. If the idea of, but he was good with Kenny Pickett 2 years ago, I just think you put this perfectly, and I'm co-signing your take while then saying your take for you. Because in our pre-show meeting, JP said, it's one guy you might not care for stumping for another guy you might not care for. And it's like, who do I care? Why do I care if Diontae Johnson thinks they're going to rip it with Kenny Pickett? It's like, you might not even be here, dude.
No, I think it's Diontae just connecting the dots. Like, oh, wait a second. The only reason I'm here is to be Kenny Pickett's blanket. And the only time he's been to the Pro Bowl, Diontae Johnson, who was the quarterback, Kenny Pickett. Like, I think there's a connecting the dots that is just obvious.
I'll spin your pre-show take. It's one guy who might not be here in September stumping for another guy who might not be here in September.
So, but you see how interesting this is, though. There's a world that exists out there where neither one of them is game one on the Browns. And there's another world out there where
in which they're the face of the Browns offense.
We look up week 4, and it's Kenny Pickett throwing Diontae Johnson interception passes that was meant to go to Diontae Johnson.
I just think I listen, if Jerry Jeudy,
I wasn't going to say touchdowns because I don't think they're going to throw touchdowns.
That's a really good 7-yard completion.
I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Kenny Pickett to Diontae Johnson touchdown.
Kenny Pickett to 5 yards past. No, 5 yards under Diontae Johnson. I can't give him he's going to overthrow Diontae Johnson unless Diontae just doesn't run. Like he just stops a route midway through, like he tends to do with blocking.
He did quit on a game in Baltimore.
That's true.
So if he just completely quits in the middle of the game.
That's in Baltimore. They don't have a winning culture. He's in Cleveland now.
Obviously, yeah.
And he's got Coach Kev, and that guy's a hard ass.
If anyone is a hard ass, it's Kevin Stefanski.
I love the idea that when Kevin really wants to get like, I gotta get, how do I reach these players, right? What he does is he just turns his visor around. He's like, all right, now you got Coach Kev. All right. He sits backwards in a chair too. He's like, what do we do about this?
Now you're just describing Kevin James playing the role of Sean Payton in that bad Netflix movie.
Don't mention Kevin James. You can mention Kevin Stefanski, and I can keep it civil.
Coach Kev.
If you mention Kevin James, there are two things. There are two things right now. You can't mention Bob Dylan to me, or I'm going to black out and give you a 15
I've been waiting at some point.
Do not
to just randomly be like, what would Bob Dylan do here?
I am still so steamed.
That guy. I hear that guy still has it.
No,
Bob Dylan is worth the price of admission.
And do not give props to Kevin. Don't even mention Kevin James. No. I reject. I'm now doing Trump hands. I reject it all.
Is it only exclusive to fat Kevin James, or skinny Kevin James also?
Well, fat Kevin James is just pandering to skinny people by acting like he's No.
I need to know.
No,
I could see you being a Paul Blart Mall Cop guy. You're telling me that
you want to break up
movie?
this radio partnership?
You want to tell me that's not a movie that Nick Wilson would like? Come on.
You want to break up this radio partnership right now?
Paul Blart Mall Cop. I think they made two of them. I think they eventually did make two of them.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I didn't know you had such a thing against Kevin James.
I'd like you to take everything
King of
back.
Queens? King of Queens is a great show.
If you dare say,
what's wrong with King of Queens?
If you dare say,
America loved King of Queens.
If you dare say that I'm like the Kevin James of sports talk,
I didn't say that.
There is hot coffee over here.
Yeah.
I will break that canister like Bruce Banner, and you will be scalded. You will be scalded and permanent. No.
Kevin James playing Bob Dylan in a biopic.
Legit pissed. I'm so mad.
What happened?
I am so mad at Bob Dylan, and I hate Kevin James. Because listen, I'm going to land the plane on Kevin James. We'll get back to this.
Okay.
Kevin James is what skinny people think of fat people. All right? Meaning he plays fat for skinny.
That's Paul Blart.
He does not. No. He makes. No.
I don't know. King of Queens was a great representation of larger people, though, because he was with that smoking hot wife of his, and everyone's like, how did he possibly get her? Like, she was way out of his league.
Which isn't offensive.
Before Scientology and everything, she was well, okay. Now that's a good spin on it. We all looked at it. You see, my people looked at it like a good for you, Kevin James. Like, that's good. I never thought about it from that side of things. I never thought about it.
You landed the plane with the your people thing. I'll give you the your people thing. If Jerry Jeudy predicted Kenny Pickett as a starter, I'd be like, oh, okay, now that's an endorsement. If David Njoku says anything.
How about Cedric Tillman? Has he earned endorsement level?
No.
No.
Okay.
Because he might be our second best receiver this year.
I know. There's one guy. And I stand for this player on the offense any chance I get because I love watching him play. If Wyatt Teller came out and said, I think it's Kenny's job to win, I would throw down my sword and be like, he must not completely suck. Unless I thought he heard this and then was, playing in on it.
I think anybody that is an actual starter giving out their endorsement is a big deal.
Not Diontae Johnson.
Well, Diontae Johnson's not an actual starter, and we've already laid out the Kenny Pickett connection.
Joe Bitonio will talk up any player.
No, but he wouldn't say it the way you said that Wyatt Teller would, right? Where it's like, I think Kenny Pickett, of everyone, I think Kenny Pickett has impressed me the most or has shown the most. And then you go off from there. I think that's why we talked about Greg Newsom's clip on Shedeur Sanders as long as we did. That's why we talked about Ocho Cinco with Denzel Ward and the comments that basically Ocho says Denzel made. Like going to bat for some of these guys, I think it does matter. And I wonder if Kenny Pickett almost felt as if he had nobody in his corner except for maybe his aunt, and was like, hey, Diontae, we got a relationship. Maybe speak some good things about me.
I think
I lost you when I brought up his aunt, didn't I?
No, I just thought back to trolling her last week and how much fun that was.
Is it safe to bring her up in future conversations, or is that
she's
just
not
when
Bob Dylan or Kevin James?
Am I just touching them all on the segment?
She's nowhere. She was just somebody that loved her nephew. Ideologically, I got it. I thought calling somebody a clown was like the lamest insult. Like, you square. Okay. I just don't think you could come up with an endorsement that would carry less water for me for Kenny Pickett than a guy who I don't want here in Diontae Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, Quinshon, you know what, young man? You go say what you want. David Njoku, you say everything, David, but you know what? Say it again, King. Joe Bitonio, you talk up everyone. That's fine. Say it. Diontae Johnson is the least impactful endorsement ever. And honestly, if I was Kenny, I would ask him to not endorse
You'd
me.
say don't.
Given where Diontae Johnson's been the last 2 years.
Deontay's like, I'm going to help you out. I'll do you a solid. Kenny's like, please don't. You don't have to.
Please. No. I'm okay. I'm okay. You just keep it back over there.